For Yvonne Gaskin, buying her first greyhound changed her life. Not only did it lead her to meet her husband Ernie, but they also lived together in 2 other countries working in greyhounds. And now today, she herself is a contracts trainer at Romford.
I started off as an owner and then I met Ernie at Walthamstow and it really went from there. So it was, I went to work for old Ernie Gaskin and then I worked for young Ernie, and then we went to America and worked in America with greyhounds. Then we had a breeding farm in Ireland for 4 years, so we was out there for a while. Then we came back and when Ernie took over at Walthamstow then. Then we went, Ernie got his contract at Romford, so we was working together then. Then Ernie got out a little while and we sort of like were running under Ernie's name. He was still the professional trainer, and the property at Nazian, they built houses on it. So I went in with Dave Lee, so me and Dave worked together. And then we found this place, and my dream was to be a professional trainer in my own right. And that's where we are now.
Well, let's go back to America because it was a wonderful experience for you, wasn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Very different to here.
Oh, completely different. The work day was a lot shorter, but it was more, you started early and all the dogs were in crates, so they had to be let out, quite a few times a day. The track work was totally different. You weighed your dogs in and then you didn't see them anymore until they brought them off the track after the race. And the kennels were so near, you just take them back, feed them and go back for your next one. Dogs were bred a lot bigger for stamina more out there than, the Irish and the English dogs. But it was a really good experience and I loved it. It was great.
And of course, it did all start with Ernie.
Yeah.
And we've seen a picture here today of you guys on the podium at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Tell me about that photo.
It was Derby final night and we had runners, and I had a little dog running called Greenfield Lynn, and she wasn't very good when she first come in, and I got her going, and old Annie said we'll put her in on Derby final night just as a runner really, and she won. I was over the moon. It was absolutely, but we always used to go Derby final night. Ernie would always have a good string of dogs, to take there, and it was good, but it's not there anymore. It's gone. But it was a good night. Good nights at Wimbledon.
So what did you do before you met Ernie?
I used to work in an office. I was an office manageress and doing credit control and into cars more than anything.
So it was a massive change in lifestyle for you.
Totally different, yeah. But I'd always loved dogs anyway, And in the end, I was getting paid for my hobby. Which was lovely.
And so what have you picked up on your journey along the way? You mentioned you were in Ireland as well, working at a breeding farm. What have you picked up that you applied to how you train dogs today?
I think, as I spoke to you before about worming, that sort of thing is totally different in America. So I go with that way that they do it out there. It's feeding. That is a big thing in racing dogs. If they're fed well, then you will get results. And as I always say, a happy dog will run well for you. So they've all got their own personalities. So you have to, it's nice to get to know your dogs. That's what I like. That's why I don't want hundreds and hundreds of dogs. I never get to know them. So that's the main thing. I think a happy dog will always run well for you.
So you say feeding is a massive part of it.
Yes, it is.
What do you feed and how do you feed?
We feed breakfast, which is really Weetabix, milk, glucose. Then on the main dinner that the dogs have, they have Gain 20, always red meat. I think that puts the fire inside them. They have vitamins, calcium, and then all sort of not a sloppy dinner. I think a dog likes something a bit more sturdy. So really, it's more protein than anything with a greyhound. And then when they're off, I just take the red meat down a little bit so they're not so hyped up. But the food is the main thing.
Another big part of it for you here is that you seem to be very much in a routine.
Yes.
And you also have use of a gallop, which you
Yes.
use almost daily.
Yeah. Greyhounds love routine. And I think it's the best thing for them that they know every day what's happening. I mean, on the Sunday, they know their owners are going to come down. So even before an owner arrives, they know it's Sunday. So I think the routine is a good thing for all the dogs. They know what they're doing, when they're going to do it. And it's, I mean, you see today, we've put them out of their routine a little bit, some of them, and they're all, what's happening, you know? So routine is a very good thing for greyhounds, I think, when you're running a kennel anyway.
You say these kennels, I know you see them as a bit of a work in progress, but you have done an awful lot here, haven't you?
I have. When we got it nearly 2 years ago now, we spent every day right up until late at night trying to get it into some because they were derelict. We bought all new kennels, which they're all galvanised iron, so they're not going to go rusty or anything. You know, they're good. New windows, new doors. The gallop, I mean, the grass was this sort of high, you know, so we've worked hard and it's not all finished yet, but we've done enough to keep us, you know, so we can carry on. But it's lovely, I love it. It's our own place, you know.
You're a little bit different to some of the other trainers I meet, because although you do like a good class dog, you really love your graded racing, don't you?
Yeah, I love the graded racing. I just feel with the graded, it's that like open races, you've got to win open races. You know, it's a lot of pressure on you, which we have got to win graded races. But I love to see a dog like trial on and then go through the grades. And who knows, you might end up an open race dog. But it's nice to see them go, and I get as much thrill as them winning a graded race as people do with winning open races. So they're just my dogs, and I love them, whatever they win.